All right, everybody. This is Sam from Sam versus Wild, and just want to talk to you guys real quick. Definitely met some really cool people the last couple days. I'm still very new to this. Hey, Kristen, I was actually just going to give you a shout out. Kristen has been super helpful. She's a great resource as far as getting acquainted with the YouTube and just basically helping me succeed, and not just me. There's so many other people I've seen her help, and it's really awesome to see. Because when you start talking about any way of making monetary gains and stuff like that, sometimes people can be a little selfish and hoard that knowledge. But not her, and she actually has. She reminds me of a quote or a saying, I should say. Birds of a feather flock together. A lot of her friends that she hangs out with her. She introduced me to this awesome community on YouTube, and just to make my point, I jumped from, I think I was like at 33 subscribers last night before going into this chat, and then I think I topped out at 70 and called it a night. But it was fun, and just doing a lot of just talking and conversating with different people, helping plug other people's channels and stuff like that, getting their numbers up as well, because a lot of these people, they have different areas of interest that they can help with, and I'm all for sharing information, because we can help people without even really trying. We're just sharing our passion or whatever. Hey, Writing in Blood, good to see you back. That was another guy, another YouTuber that came across the chat last night. So this morning I jumped on, I think his name was Hash. He's from Canada, and by all accounts, a really fun guy. Just kind of great conversation. And, that's something that I could definitely just tune into him and kind of have it as background noise, because he's, just bounces around different topics, and it's fun. It's entertaining. And too often we make our lives more complicated, more busy than they should be. So this is awesome. So what I was going to do was I'm going to make him a Bosa, because he plugged me on his channel in the middle of the conversation, and he said he saw my profile picture, which are a spoon and a two-pronged fork that I had whittled. And a lot of this stuff, I come across little pieces of wood because I burn wood to heat the house and whatnot. And so I remember for one of the my wooden ladle, I was just making some kindling, and one of the pieces of, I think it was cedar that I was splitting. And cedar's not, if it's not dry enough, it's not the best splitting wood for kindling. And there was a big knot in one, but it kind of had a natural contour to it, similar to this. And I just thought to myself, hey, I can make this into a spoon. And I did. And it was a fun learning experience. Hey, Mina, welcome. Thanks for joining, everybody. Trying to keep up with Talking Story and reading comments. But so Hash said he would want to buy either a set of silverware so he could eat a salad, which I thought was pretty funny, or a bow saw. And so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to make him a bow saw. And obviously, I'm not selling this stuff yet, so this would be my first one I've made for anybody besides myself. So I'll show you my little bow saw kit. This is nice and compact. And this, I'd be lying to say, I didn't get this information or the idea. If I didn't give credit where credit was due. I've watched many YouTube videos and survival shows and all this other stuff. And it's just one of those things where you kind of have to have this in your pack. It's a great resource. I usually have like a folding pruning saw with a lock. So this is a 10-inch pruning saw that I got off Amazon. Really good to have, because you got to, to get one of these, you got to process wood down to get some of these out of like one of these. So this is just some wood that they were dead standing trees, and so I went out and downed a couple of them, and then that way, you can, if you mess up on one of your pieces, if you burn wood, then you have kindling already. So you got your cordage. This is, it was braided. It kind of came undone a little bit, but just use 3 strands. This is one of the arms for the bow saw. And that's where the cross arm will fit in. It's all notched and everything. And then get this out. It's just a little screw for a retaining pin. It's my cross arm. It's a 21-inch blade. It's a bow saw blade from the local hardware store. I think I got it at Ace. It's my actual handle. Kristen's saying she has a headache, so sorry about that. But in any case, this is your little tensioner piece, and fits together pretty easy. I like to start with the blade first. Turn off all this stuff. Let's see how many people we got in here. Got 5 watching. That's good. And for those of you, I appreciate all the shout outs. If you're new, obviously, it's nice to get a thumbs up. And, if you like what you see or you hear, go ahead and subscribe and press the, I guess it's like an alarm bell for notifications. And I try to go on fairly often, live or just recording videos. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and it kind of motivates me just to get out there. And thank you guys for those of you who are sharing. I appreciate it. So where'd that pin go? There it is. So I'm setting up the bow saw blade so I can actually start processing more pieces, so I can get a bow saw going for hash in Canada. And I think that would be really cool if I can get it done and in the mail by the end of the week. That's my goal. And I'm all thumbs right now, sorry. Go to your home. And then I guess things to look forward to or keep an eye out for. Later this week, some friends and I, we're going to try to go. We're going to try to go live, maybe a Google Hangout, something like that. And so some of them are like CV Customs and back in Cali. It's a longtime friend. I think we've known each other for about 28 years, 29 years, something like that. So I'm sure this is seated well. I gotta keep those notifications off. I'm blocking my chat screen. All right, so we have it basically put together. Now you just have to put the tensioner on. Again, I'm all thumbs right now, so bear with me. I'm all twisted. There we go. So you can put this on like so. Get your pin. And just start twisting. And it starts bringing in these two arms for the bow saw. And then it'll brace against the cross arm. And so I ended up, like I said, I ended up putting a braid in this. I used, for a braid, you use 3 pieces because I actually, on my smaller one, I wound it so tight that I ended up breaking the single line. So there it is. It's the bow saw. It's all put together. It's really sturdy now. And so I'm going to size up some wood. I already have some pre-cut that are 2 size or slightly smaller, but I'm going to cut. I'm probably going to make his the same size, and the reason for that is if you've seen these notches, this is a 21-inch blade, but you can actually it'll accommodate, I think, a 23-inch blade as well if you go to this notch on both ends. So it's a little bit more versatile than just a one size blade. So again, no pressure. Gotta show everybody that this actually does work. So and then I have this hatchet here just so I have some. I'm able to. Well, let me move this a little so I'm not hitting my computer. All right. All right, so let's try to make quick work of this. So nice, clean cut. Didn't take that long. Not too much energy exerted. So now I just got to get one more of these, this length. Or let's do. Quick action. All right, who else do we have here? Hey, what's up, Cash? I'm just getting started on your bow saw. So I was telling him about your channel earlier. A lot of fun. I guess he has 2 channels. I haven't come across his other one yet. But just some random conversation is good. I liked it. All right. So I have enough right now to get the arms going. Gotta clean this up a little bit. That wasn't the piece I cut earlier. Well, I guess technically it is. It just wasn't for this project. Kind of small. No problem. What else do we have in here? All right, so put this away. Try to keep it. I try to keep a cleaner workspace, but doing this kind of stuff indoors, it's really easy to get yelled at by the wife. But so now we can. Let's try to split this Get some more leverage on it. All right. So these actually look thick enough, so I might only have to use one piece, like one length that I cut for both handles. So now, one thing I did forget was a pan. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Yeah, all right. So now basically what you do is you just draw your handle, your arm, or however you want to phrase it. And then you just get to etching on it. Clean it up a little. And some people consider this, more monotonous to watch and kind of like, I guess, the equivalent of watching paint dry. But if you have a genuine interest in this kind of stuff, it's, it's entertaining. I had bilateral inguinal hernia surgery earlier this year. And so I was laid out for several weeks and I was out of work for about a month, which sucked because, I was missing my kids and everything because I drive a school bus for special needs. And so I was laid out for a while and I got by because I figured out on my upstairs TV that I could get YouTube on there. So I watched a lot of YouTube and I have a really, really good view out my window. We've got a small creek that runs through the back of these townhomes. And so I would just look out and just fantasize about, man, when I get better, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And so now I'm better. And so if you see like I'm oversaturating my channels because I'm playing catch up, I'm very much a late bloomer in a lot of regards to, just life in general. I kind of squandered a few years earlier. Who doesn't, right? But now I'm just super motivated in a lot of different aspects and different areas of my life. Career driven, want to make as big of an impact and positive impact for people within my transportation community because, you have better drivers. They can provide better care for the students, not just special needs, but gen ed as well. What part of Washington are you in? I am near, this town I live in is called North Bend, which is about 35 minutes east of Seattle. Oh, Film the Creek. So I'm on my laptop right now because this is how new I am to everything. I'm still figuring out the desktop, but I guess I can show you the view out the window. So I'm in a downstairs den. Get my dirty dishes out from breakfast. And I don't know what this is looking like, but I don't know how well that's coming through for you guys, but that's what I got in the backyard. Well, not really a yard, it's just a view. And then the creek runs just down the little ravine. So right after a snow or rain, the creek is pretty full. Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely blessed to be up here, especially being from California originally. It's starting to shape up now. All right. So now we can take this apart so I can actually just trace. Get the tension cordage off, and then pop in the blade. So who has plans for Sunday? Anything exciting? I think this is about the extent of what I'm going to be doing. Messing with this and then rearranging or finishing the rearranging of the den. I brought in some couches. I was saving for my nephew, and he was supposed to be moving up here from California. He just got done with the deployment, and he was over in Qatar for a while, and I got him hired on with our district to drive bus, and he ended up meeting a gal. Well, I guess he knew her already. They were dating, and now he's engaged. And so they're rethinking their options on moving, because now it's a joint decision. But there's more benefits to moving up here than not, I've been telling them. But anyways, I have his couches now. So they're nice couches, and got that TV for him too, and a bunch of other household goods. But, you know, ultimately in life, we have to make our own decisions, because it's our life, not anybody else's to do so. I just want what's best for him and, you know, his future wife. If that means being up here, then awesome. If not, then, you know, at least he better come get these couches out of my den. Gardening? Yeah, I saw some of your gardening. It was impressive. All right, Jules, was that Patrick? Oh, hey, Patrick. Patrick's one of my friends from work. He's a really nice guy. The more I find out about my fellow bus drivers, I'm just so impressed. It's truly a melting pot of all kinds of different people who came from different walks of life, and but they have similar qualities in the fact or regard that they're really amazing people, and they could be enjoying retirement, a lot of them, but they're not. They're, you know, devoting more time to the students, and I appreciate each and every one of them. So I don't know if we could see that. That's going to be one arm. So from here, we'll hold off on the other stuff. But always a must, put your pins back so you don't lose them, because you would not get much done without retaining pins for your blade. So from here, you start trimming it up. New streaming later today. Come on through, fellas. I'll check you out, Big Heck. I appreciate you stopping by. So we've got one side almost trimmed. And then after you trim or you shave it, then you could just refine it and kind of smooth out the edges. And for me, that's fun too. And I'll show you kind of quickly how I do that. And so I like to create a brace, something to push up against. And I'm also using this, it's just a round this is a maple. And it's good just for these kind of, I split wood on here. I, you know, sharpen my blades and all other things like that. But it's good to have, and I think it looks pretty nice. As long as there's not a bunch of shavings around, because then I end up getting yelled at. But rightfully so. So I like to use a smaller knife. This is a mossy oak knife. It's an affordable knife. I don't like to say the word cheap because kind of has a negative connotation, I think, but it's an affordable knife. I got two of them, two different sizes. So, and I think I paid like $20. So again, I'm very new to this, the bushcraft. So I'm starting lower and then I'm gradually working up, like for a saw, like a pruning saw or foldable saw. This was really cheap. I think it was like $15, if that. But you start getting into the higher end, like the Katana Boy and stuff like that. That's like just crazy. It's like $500 to $800, depending on the length and all that other stuff. But there's a market out there for it, for sure. Just I'm not in that market, not anytime soon. But I just want to, have as much fun and learn, continue to learn. I feel learning is a never-ending journey. And that was one of my mindsets in bartending, because I used to bartend. I did a little bit of everything. But yeah, you just can't think you will ever know it all, because you won't. It's a fact of life. There's always changes being made, or people not even reinventing the wheel, but just getting creative with it. Set this a little bit more. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah, Turtle Creativity is live. I was going to check her out. So I might end up stopping for a little bit. I'm going to keep working, but out of respect to people who showed me a lot of love yesterday, I'm going to go check out some of their pages. And I implore you all to do the same. Go check out, share the love, help people continue to grow their channels. And that's what it's about, being supportive for one another, because the bigger we get, the more reach we have for our influence, and just kind of, if we do that in our everyday lives, I mean, this place is going to be awesome. People fear, I don't want to get too deep into it, but they fear having kids because of the way the world's turning out. But I mean, everybody in this thread right now that I see, they've all shown themselves to be caliber people. And it's just a little bit of change, a little bit of love goes a long way. So anyways, take care, guys. Sam versus Wild. I'll be back. What's up, Shay? Oh no, I want to stay because we had a lot of fun. But I'm gonna go check out Turtle Creativity's page real quick and show some love, and then I'll probably come back. All right, guys. See you soon.